Hello and welcome to Race 8 of the 2014 Utica Home Track Series here at the Mosport circuit, the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. It should be a great race today for our second race of the Canadian Tour, but before we get to that, let's get you caught up today with the starting grid and the latest news stories in the Utica Home Track Series. The first major news story, Charles Sanford has bought out the 9 team from Cybertron Racing. The 9 car will now be a part of S3 Motorsports and be the same manufacturer as them. No sponsor has been announced for the number 9 machine, but we are assuming that they will find something soon. The driver of the number 4 machine, Gabriel Montoya, was injured in a wreck last week at Montreal, so he's going to be replaced by Ryan Astabomi. Astabomi is usually driving the 99 car. He has opted to leave that ride and switch over to the 4. The 99 team will be closed down. The number is now available. Also, we'd like to make a correction from last week. We said that Derek Pemberton was the one that was out due to an injury. That is incorrect. It's actually Cameron Pemberton who is out on injury. He will be replaced by Don Pemberton and Chloe Pemberton. However, of the 3 people we mentioned in our news stories, none of those 3 have made the event. That's what's going on in the Utica Home Track Series. Now let's go racing. On pole for the event is Brian Judge in the number 3 machine, getting his first career Utica Home Track Series pole. Part of that 3-car operation, he's the only one of those drivers to actually qualify for the event. So, good showing by Brian Judge as he paces the field. Coming off the start, oh, we got some contact near the back. I think actually it was a little more mid-pack, but incident, lap number 1. Alex Pageau in the 30 is going to clip Debbie Myers. Myers goes into the wall. Charles Jackson involved. And look at that, it's going to cause a huge issue going into the second turn. In the past, we've had a lot of issues in Turn 1, but Turn 2 it looks like is going to be a bit of a problem right now. Here's another angle of it. A lot of cars being thrown everywhere on the racetrack, but that didn't end the Lap 1 carnage. Amanda Pericles in the 87 finally making the race, makes contact with the wall, and that 87 car is going to go around. She's going to lose a lot of ground on the leaders, but keeps it driving. Another incident on Lap 1. Ian Dutta, car number 27, battling with Kara Minazuki. Minazuki turns him off course. He goes into the wall hard, into the air. Let's go on board with Ian Dutta and see what he saw. And he just gets dumped off the racetrack. He was not happy about this, and I think the officials may need to look at that, as we are not sure of what Minazuki was thinking. But up front, Brian Judge led for a lap, but Courtney Miller in the 17 took the race lead away. Miller had a great run at Watkins Glen and was catching up to the lead cars, but just ran out of time, wasn't able to get up to first place. Had to settle for second, but this could be a good run for the 17 machine, as she looks to bounce back after missing so many races this year. This is her second career start. We had an incident with Max Watson, car number 28. He gets sent off this corner, which is a downhill segment that leads into a long swooping turn. Just gets caught up in that grass and just couldn't escape. Gets knocked out of the race. John Cittadino, car number 72, is in 22nd. He is currently the highest ranked of the championship competitors on track, as Nicholas Guerra failed to qualify for the event, so this could be a good chance for him to catch up. Incident lap 4. Cecil Brooks in the 02 also goes off track and into the wall. I think this might be a trouble spot today, as this grass is just sucking these drivers in, as we had a lot of wet weather here in Mosport. Another incident for Eric Bush in the 45 car. Gets sent off track by Greg Miller, plows the wall. I think that's going to put an end to the 45 cars day, as the Dion Scott Motorsports team is starting to struggle as we head toward this section of the season. Incident lap 5. Reggie Lee, car number 81, has qualified for both Canadian races, but is wrecked out early in both. So Reggie Lee is going to have to go back to the drawing table. Hopefully they can make it next week. Conrad Wilson, car number 35, is making his first start in the Utica Home Track Series. He made an attempt last year at Myrtle Beach, but failed to make it. He is running in the stead of Jonathan Bentons. Bentons ran his final race with the team last week, and now Wilson's going to go on a stretch. Adrian Felix is also slated to drive this car this year. But the 35 machine is hoping for a great run. We'll have to see how Wilson can do. He sits 11th at the moment. We had another incident with John Lasco, car number 76. He plows it off course, and it looks like a win on the road course is not going to be in store for the 76 team. Great battle for second place. Connor Germain, the Frenchman, diving underneath Brian Judge, and he is going to make the pass flawlessly through the S's and is going to take the lead coming back to the line. Connor Germain started on the outside pole, which has a great track record at this track. Outside pole sitter has been the winner for a couple of our events, especially in 2011 and 2012. Harrison Langford, car number 21, is making his first start of the season. Finally, he has made the field. He has been trying all season long, but has been coming up short. And he's actually the only member of his team to make the race, if I am correct, as local driver Kyle Corbett was unable to make it. So Langford having a great run, that 21 machine. We had an incident on lap 9. John Cittadino, who was gaining through the field pretty steadily, gets caught up in the grass. So will Leia Walker. Both cars go into the wall, and the Pokemon machine of Walker and the BlackPeopleMeet.com 72 are going to go out of the race. Alan Tanker, car number 57. His brother is normally good at these kinds of tracks, but Alan Tanker is here today near the front, hoping to put on a show. So Alan Tanker, not many starts under his belt. He made his first career start at Darlington this year. This is the second time the 57 car has been on track. Hopefully he can last a little bit longer than he did at Darlington, as Darlington ended early for him. Incident lap 12. Alex DeMarco, both of his cars made the race, but both of his cars are going to pull out of the race early as he has trouble in that same section of the course that has been plaguing a lot of our drivers today in the early going. There's Ryan Bush. Now, we saw Eric Bush earlier. There's no relation between the two. But Ryan Bush is a winner in this series. He won at Watkins Glen in a surprise victory in his first career start. The 39 car is having a great effort so far, currently sitting in 11th place. So it's not without reason that he could repeat it again and have another great points day. So Ryan Bush in that 39 machine, the only driver of the Angel Navarro team to be in the field. Wish him the best on track. As we had pit stops on lap number 16. And almost everyone went down this lap, as we had a pit incident going in. So it was not without issue. Alan Tanker goes from third to into the pit wall. He is going to wreck out of this race early on, and this is going to hold up a lot of other drivers on pit road. We also had an incident on lap 17. Sam Young comes off the pit lane. He's gunning it. Guns it a little too quick. Goes off in that turn, and he ends up in the wall. Fate with most of the drivers that have gone through that turn today. Connor Germain would take the race lead coming off pit road, beating Courtney Miller in the 17. Connor Germain has had mild success at the road courses, especially last year when he was driving for the BD team. So he's back this year. He's had a couple decent efforts early on this year, but without much praise since they were about 15th or so. This is the first time he's been up near the front this season, and I think he is having a great effort so far. But he's got some challenge behind him with that 17. The 3 machine is having trouble though. He is not happy with this car, saying it's very ill handling. He has fallen back to 16th after starting on the pole and lost a bit on pit stop. So Brian Judge not having the best of days, but at least he's in the race, he's getting points, he's going to be getting a paycheck from this. Hopefully they can diagnose what's wrong with this 3 car and get him back near the front. Courtney Miller in the 17 is going to run Connor Germain a little off track, and Courtney Miller will sneak back into the race lead. Courtney Miller was considered a flyover driver at the start of this year, given that she has not run many races and has failed to qualify for mostly everything. But when she is in the field, she can definitely put on a good run. So hopefully the 17 car will be a plus for the Dollarton effort. Incident lap 19, Joshua Michaels in the two-tone 04 goes way off track and ends up in that same barrier that's plaguing a lot of drivers today. You think these guys would learn not to overrun that turn, but hey, I'm not in the race car. We had an incident in the next lap. Courtney Miller is getting a challenge for the lead by Connor Germain. Germain is running in underneath, not giving her much room. They go through the final turns, double wide, and look at this, Connor Germain juts up a little bit, takes up the racing line, sends Courtney Miller off track and into the wall. So Courtney Miller from second place is going to end up in the wall, but fortunately, not going to fall out of the race. She keeps it going, and it looks like she doesn't even lose a position yet. Incident lap 19. Similar circumstances for Conrad Wilson. Run off track a little bit by Gabe Williams. Nathan Manizuki was lucky he didn't get off track as well. But the 35 car is going to get a little more damage done to him, and he's going to lose a couple positions. Actually, he might be struggling there, as I don't think that car is going very fast at all. So The 17 car kind of lucked out, as the number 92 of Jeffrey Finguy, who we've not talked about much this year despite his dominant championship effort last year, he is running third on track in a race where not noted as being the top driver, but he's having a great effort today so far, and he's hoping to salvage this year as all three of his cars have not done well. Eris Jock is out on medical leave. Skylar Johnson's wrecked out early in many events. Kenna Blez has had unusually poor time qualifying, and same for Finguy, so things have not been going well for that team. Let's hope for the best. Caitlin Stringer is back, this time in the 88 car instead of Matt Dool. Matt Dool has decided that he's not happy with his racing effort. He's just going to let Caitlin Stringer pilot the car this year. And the result is actually doing relatively well. She's currently 7th on track, running with Zachary Robinson, Nathan Mizuki, Gabe Williams, and PJ Williams. So Caitlin Stringer is not much of a road racer, having a great effort today. Chris Washer in the 51 machine has worked his way up to 3rd place. He made it by Jeffrey Finguy in that turn. And Washer is hoping to climb his way through the standings after he's had a less than preferable season. Chris Washer has not made a whole lot of races, but the races he has made, he's done okay, and not much good has come out of the Washer-Dutta stable, as Dutta is already out. Hopefully Washer can be a plus for today. Incident on lap 24. Harrison Langford was having such a great run, a top 10 effort in his first start. Ran off track by the 39, and he's going to end up in the wall. So a great day is going to turn sour for Harrison Langford as he hopes to qualify for next week. Incident lap 24. Matt Evans running right above Brian Judge. He ends up into the wall. So Matt Evans, who's trying to avenge his father's win from last year, not going to get it done, as Neil Evans, his father, actually failed to qualify for this event. PJ Williams, car number 67, along with Gabe Williams in the 68, have both been having great runs today in their run here at Mosport. They've actually had a great run in all of their limited starts. I think Gabe Williams has qualified for all 3 events, and PJ Williams in all of his starts has gotten a at least a top 20 effort. So right now both are sitting in the top 10, are looking at great finishes for today. Incident lap 25. Coming through the winding turns, you see there's a side-by-side battle there that's going to result in Jeffrey Finguy getting a piece of the wall, and that's going to injure his 92 car pretty well. And that is a shame for Finguy, who was hoping for a great run today in that YouTube Chevy. He is going to pull it off track, but not before another incident, lap 27. Luke Walker is having a great run today, running on track, minding his own business. Jeffrey Finguy pulls his damaged race car in front of Luke Walker. And that is going to put the 23 car behind the wall. I don't know what Jeffrey Finguy was thinking, but Luke Walker certainly was not happy about this and is asking for something to be done. So we'll have to see what could happen there, as Luke Walker's great day is going to end up in the pits. Nathan Minazuki in the 05 car is having a great run today. Both he and his sister Karen Minazuki have qualified for the event, but Minazuki, the brother Minazuki, is having a much better effort as he's sitting in the top 10. This could be a great run for the 05 car that's not had a lot of steam this year. Greg Miller and a little further back is Jordan Culp have both been having a great run today. 11th and 12th at the time. Greg Miller and Jordan Culp have not had many runs on track, and they've mostly ended up falling out of the LCQ in qualifying. But they're looking at good point days as they're trying to climb their way up through the standings. So great job for the Colt Miller team. With only 1 lap to go, actually 2 laps to go, Gabe Williams in the 68 car pulls it down pit road. He is out of fuel, so he is going to have to fill it up. In fact, he's not the only car. Ryan Bush and the 88 of Caitlin Stringer all are low on fuel. They had the pit going into the final lap. So that is going to be a shame for them. Now we have to see if Connor Germain, if his fuel can keep up for this final lap of racing. Germain has been running hard all day. He was able to pull away from Courtney Miller. Coming to the line, looks like he will make it on fuel. Connor Germain wins his first career Utica Home Track Series race, and I think this is the first time the BD Motorsports team, now titled Triton Motorsports, is going to head to victory lane. So congratulations to Connor Germain. He is one happy camper, and so is the rest of the team, as they go to victory lane on the track he knows best. the road course up here in Canada. So great job for Connor Germain. Let's take a look at the race results. Connor Germain is your race winner, followed by Chris Washer, Courtney Miller, PJ Williams, Nathan Minizuki, Zachary Robinson. Brian Judge is actually going to salvage it, a 7th place today, followed by Gene Sanford, Greg Miller, and Jordan Call, rounding out your top 10. Ryan Bush drops to 11th, followed by Caitlin Stringer, Gabe Williams, Matt Evans, the 14th, not too bad, Annie Thomas, Alex Tanker, one of the few Canadians in the field, Jeffrey Finguy was a lap down, Alex Pedro also joined him a lap off the pace. Everyone else on track has pulled out of the event, including some notables like Conrad Wilson. There's Kara Minizuki, who pulled out at some point today, John Cittadino in the 72, Emily Isher, who didn't get a chance to really make much ground today. There is Nikki Allen, John Lasco, Reggie Lee, Sam Crawford, Eric Bush, Cecil Brooks, Charles Jackson, Ray Takita. Debbie Myers was hoping for a much better effort today in the 97 car. Sam Young, and the final couple, Max Watson and Ian Dutta. Wait, sorry, I think that was actually supposed to be Jack Richards in that 31 car, and at the bottom of the grid. Here are your point standings. Nicholas Guerra, despite not being here, still on top. Andy Thomas pulls to 2nd, followed by Ray Takita and John Cittadino. Dollarton drops to 5th, followed by Nova, Sam Young, Joe Samaniego, Treg Togger, and Megan Curley. Just outside is Zachary Robinson, Karen Minizuki, William Duncan, Andrew Robinson has just been dropping through the standings. Kyle Corbett, Michael Aurelio, Connor Germain moves up into the top 20. Joshua Michaels, Joseph Bryant, and Gene Sanford, your top 20. Lastly, let's take a look at the Rookie of the Year standings. Andy Thomas on top, followed by Chris Dollarton, Joe Samaniego, Henry Nova, Connor Germain, Karen Minizuki, Kyle Corbett, Gene Sanford, Brian Judge, and Debbie Myers. Next week, we are heading to the Superspeedway in Daytona for some night racing. It should be a great event, as we do not run many plate races in this series, so the action will be intense. Hope to see you there. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.